Hey everyone, I'm always a fan of games made by Marvelous, which is why I picked up this. It's Fate Extella, the Umbral star for the PS4. I think Marvelous makes great beat-em-up style games, especially lately. They're known mostly for their Senran Kagura series of hack-and-slash games, and those who know the amount of fan service those games have. But I figured it would be kind of fun to look at something from Marvelous that isn't so super fan servicey. Just ignore the fact that I'm making Saber run around in her underwear, or the wobbly boobies, or some of these cutscenes. Okay, there's fan service, but nothing like Senran Kagura. Before we begin, I do have to mention that I really don't know anything about the Fate series. I can't comment on the story of the game, so I'll be looking at this purely from a gameplay perspective. I made an effort to try and figure out what was going on, but I figured it would be best to just talk as little as possible about the story. But from what I understand, the main character won the Holy Grail War along with their servant, and is now in control of some sort of moon unit-based thing. But apparently the main character is split up into 3 different entities, each with their own servant. Of course, they all fight each other to gain control over said moon thingy. There's more to it than that, of course, but that's the gist of it anyways. This game is a lot of fun. I don't think you really need to have to follow the story to have fun with it, despite all the cutscenes. Everything runs nice and smooth at 60 frames per second. Attributes I value in games like these are fluidity and ease of controls, and this game delivers on that front. I don't want to work too hard at these games. I like feeling all-powerful, being able to, smash away hordes of enemies with just a press of a button. It's very therapeutic and stress-relieving. I played this game a lot lately too. I wonder if that says anything about the direction my life is heading. Oh, it doesn't fit! Thankfully, there's a default name option. Did you just assume my gender? I always play as a girl if the option is there. Playing as a girl in Fate Extella equals Yuri vibes galore, since the story isn't really any different whichever gender you choose. So this is how the gameplay works. Each mission or stage takes place on a map with multiple areas. Most of the time the aim is to take control of specific areas, and in order to do that you need to get rid of several small bosses spread throughout the map. You have to kill a lot of small fries before some of those appear though. Once Buddy over here is finally defeated, you get control over that area. If you aren't doing that, you'll have to try and defeat bigger bosses, or other servants and things like that. In order to keep things interesting, you can combine weak and heavy attacks for different combos. You can also use special attacks, as well as Moon Crux, which is a transformation of sorts. And Noble Phantasms, which are huge attacks that can only be used if you collect all 3 of these things that are spread out throughout the map. There isn't a lot of variety with the enemies, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. The stages all look interesting, and there are a lot of different areas within each stage. Characters look great, and so do the sprites. My only complaint, other than the somewhat low-res environments, is with the colors. Everything is really saturated. Combine that with a lot of action and an over-enthusiastic bloom effect, and you've got a good recipe for eye fatigue. At first, you can only play through Saber's story, but as you play, you'll unlock the other 2 stories as well. Each story isn't that long, which is nice because that means it's easier to play through the other storylines. There are visual novel-style choices you can make in terms of dialogue, so if you say the right things, your bond with your servant becomes stronger. The music is pretty awesome, definitely don't have any complaints there. It does its job matching the excitement happening on screen. Aside from the main story, you can also play various side stories and do free battles. If you're getting bored of your servant's attire, You can get some new clothes from the PlayStation Store. There isn't that much there right now, but if the Japanese version of the game is anything to go by, then we should be seeing more stuff eventually. I think I'll just change that back, thank you. Overall, I think there's enough content here to keep things interesting. If you ever find yourself in need of a challenge, you can try bumping up the difficulty, or you can try to get a perfect score sheet too. And that's the game. Sorry I wasn't able to say much about the story, but hopefully you found the video helpful nonetheless. I definitely had a good time playing it, and if you like what you see, give this game a try. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.